I'm sorry. We're celebrating with WES BEECH, guitarist of the mighty Plasmatics, and paying tribute to the great late Wendy Williams. What is going on today? I know there's merchandise available. Of course, the legacy of the Plasmatics continues. Books, new music. What are you doing, Wes? How can people follow and pay tribute to the Plasmatics?
Well, I'm still involved with the website, plasmatics.com.
Okay.
The whole back catalog is available there with some t-shirts and posters, a few other items.
How many different records is that?
I think there's about seven or eight,
Okay.
and then there's some vinyl releases available there as well. And, you can order right from plasmatics.com.
Yep.
If you like, you can leave a note in the comments. I'd be more than happy to autograph anything.
Okay.
And I'm
So,
still active with that. And I'm still writing songs, playing music. I just did a track called Wax Fruit with a guy named Bloody Mess. You can search YouTube for it. Just search Bloody Mess Wax Fruit. Kind of a
okay.
commentary on the times today, kind of like a pop punk song that I wrote.
And
And
being a New Yorker, what prompted the move to Detroit, which obviously has a very rich musical history with the MC5 and Iggy Pop and the Stooges, and of course the Alice Cooper Group, and so much more coming out of there. What prompted the move, and what do you like about Detroit?
well, I kind of like Detroit. It's kind of a small city. I moved out here, actually met my wife here.
Okay.
So I decided to move out, and it was right around just before we were getting ready to record the Commander Chaos album, and we had been rehearsing and working on that for quite a while. And I was kind of getting burnt out from the whole thing, and I just needed a break. So I stepped away from the band, even though I was still active as far as producing and writing songs still, but I was not actively touring at the time, and ended up leaving for about 6 months and going back and rejoining the band for the Maggots record. But thing about Detroit, yes, it does have a rich musical history. I always liked the music in Detroit,
Yep.
like the bands. I like the
White
fact that it's
Stripes, Eminem, it continues.
right. Oh, absolutely. And I kind of like the fact that it's kind of a smallish city.
Mm-hmm.
So you can go see a lot of shows, a lot of good bands,
Okay.
and it's kind of centrally located. It's hop, skip, and a jump to Chicago. You can go down
Yeah.
to Indianapolis, go to Toronto, or
That's for sure. But you are
yeah.
back to kind of New Yorkish winters,
Right.
so it's
Right,
not
but the
it's not
temperatures are
Cali, that's for
right.
sure.
No, no, but I like the change of seasons. Plus, the cost of living you can't beat here.
Yeah. No, I love Detroit. I love Cleveland. I love Chicago, all that. The Midwest is so much history
And it's
there.
got a certain grittiness that you just don't get in other places. But
Yeah.
I have to say, I do miss the hustle and bustle in New York, and I do miss Christmas in New York. But
When
my
you
sister
wh-
still lives out there, so I
so
get
when
out
you go
there.
back to Manhattan, is it kind of like, wow, I love this energy, but I'm glad that I don't live here 24/7?
Right. Oh, yes. Uh-huh. Absolutely. And it's changed quite a bit. It's just not the same.
Right. Yeah, you go try and find CBGBs, and it's now a upscale clothing store with a like a piece of the building or something on the wall.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, it is gentrified. That is for sure. I know back in the day, Bleecker Bob's and all those cool record stores, and like you say, all the clubs and dive bars, and I'm sure you know, the lower cost places to live down there in the village and the Bowery and all that was, it's probably long gone.
Right. Yeah.
But
Yeah. Kind of sad. Kind of sad to see that.
yeah,
Yep. I used to love all those record stores and Bleecker Bob. I was friends with Bleecker Bob, and he would
okay.
always recommend things. In fact, my pre-plasmatics band, a band called The Accidents, was on the news one night. They were doing a show on punk rock, and it was us and the Cramps and Bleecker Bob. They interviewed Bleecker Bob, so he kind of befriended me from that.
Oh, wow. Yeah, yeah. I was just watching a documentary on Lux Interior and Poison Ivy of the Cramps. I mean, there's been a lot of colorful characters that have come up through the undergrounds and, mixed, some early rock and roll and rockabilly and psychedelic music and punk rock and all that. I love the hybrids, that people continue to explore, for the love of what they're creating as opposed to some like commercial idea of being, rich and famous.
Great. Hmm.
Well, that's amazing. Well, Wes Beach is our special guest. Go to plasmatics.com, dig into some of that vinyl and releases, and of course, go check out Wes's new music and more importantly, check out our other segments. Wes, it's been a real pleasure, man. I've enjoyed this thoroughly. Can't thank you enough and wish you and your wife and family a great rock and roll weekend here. And until
Oh,
we
thank
speak
you.
again, man, please keep
Same to
rocking.
you. That's really great. Feel great talking to you. And thank you for having me on.
Thanks so much, Wes.